Gaming in Africa has to be the hardest quest life has dropped into my story. For starters, getting a game to play itself was a train wreck. So you ask, how do you all even play games in there? Well, that's what I'm here to answer. But first, let me break down the horrors we the African kids have to go through just to play the games that we like. First of all, I think we can all agree that the first platform that we played games was on our parents' phones. Like, I could remember I used to hide in the closet of my parents and play hours or maybe minutes, it depends, of Subway Surfers and other games. And whenever my mom caught me, bro, I'm about to get some ass whooping, bro. But it was worth it because that was the only way that I could satisfy myself. Fast forward to your 13s and 12s. At this age, most kids in the West start having gay PlayStations, PCs and stuff. But we the Africans, if you're lucky, you might get a phone. But if you're not, then you have to look for ways to play video games. The West kids play AAA games like, let's say, GTA is like 18 years plus, so most kids don't play it. But still, Uncharted and the others, kids are able to play those games and have fun, where we suffer with the mobile games. But mind you, some of the mobile games we play are actually good games. Games like Shadow Fight, Cover Fire, a lot more are there. Like, they are slipping my mind right now, guys. But these are games that we used to play back then. Mainly, I play Triple H mobile games that have story in them, like the Amazing Spider-Man games. I think some of y'all can remember that game. But getting a console is a no-go for most of us because what? Our families can afford it. Consoles are expensive in here. You might be lucky to get a cheap deal, but it's so difficult. So what do people do if they can get a console? They tend to downplay it. They make it seem like getting a console is this bad thing. But deep down, you all know that they want it. But you can't prove it. You all wonder what my first console was, because I actually was lucky to get a console, but that was like in the mid tier of my life. I'd say in my 13s, 14s, I guess. I can't remember properly the year, but I think it was 2016, yeah. And my first console was a PlayStation 2. I played games like the 007 games. I played Pro Evolution Soccer, and then I played God of War in there. And then I played God Hand, bro. That game was so good. I swear, y'all gotta try it, bro. But just look at it. I get a PlayStation 2 in 2016, bro. That's like what, 16 years or 15 years past the console's lifetime. That's what we have to go through. Like, for most people today, getting a PS4 is like a gold fine. It's like a gold fine, bro. But that's what we have to go through just to game. While people are thinking about getting a PlayStation 7 or the release of the PlayStation 7, we are here thinking of how to get a PlayStation 4, bro. A console that's like what, 17 years old now? Correct me if I'm wrong. But in the pandemic era is where I like had my peak gaming year, because that's where I had my PlayStation 3. Please don't bash me in the comments, bro. But that's where I played GTA for the first time, GTA 5 and 4, and then I played Last of Us, Splinter Cell, the Arkham games, a lot of games, bro. Like I've played a lot of games in there. And something I did forget saying is that having a console in Africa in your house means that you invite in trouble, because everyone in your neighborhood, the guy who knows you, the guy who doesn't, it's still gonna appear on your house, and then they're gonna act like they're your best friends just so that they can have their hands on your game. That's the life that we have to go through, bro. If you haven't gone through this, then I don't know, you gotta be some rich guy or whatever. But that's the reality of African gaming, bro. I could remember my parents used to crash because I used to bring kids to my house. And to be frank, it's not like I invited them. They just knew and then they came, and I couldn't like send them out because what? I have to let them have fun as well. Because if I didn't have, I would have done the same, bro. But another popular method of gaming in Africa is through gaming lounges. So basically, you pay a certain amount of money, and then the guy will let you play a certain amount of games. So for us in the Gambia, it's like you pay $10 or $15, I guess, and then you have like a full game. It depends the timing. It might be on 7 minutes or 5 minutes. Yeah, that's what they do basically. Yeah, I could remember that I spent a lot of money on those as well before I got my consoles, before I got my PS2. And then when my PS2 was gone, I spent a hell lot of money to play games. Because I love games, bro. All I want to do is game my whole life. So moving past that, so let's say that you have your dream console. Let's say you have a PS5 or a PC or whatever. So the real horror here is you won't be able to buy the games that you want. Why? Because the PlayStation Store is basically dead here. We don't have gift. I mean, we have gift cards, but like it's so rare to find them. The only way to buy games in the PlayStation Store or the Xbox Store is like by you having a member in America, and then like it's a long process, bro. So most people don't tend to do that. The only way you can get games is through the high seas. You all know, bro. But most people they find their ways to exploit, and it's like actually people here are actually smart, but like to be honest, Africa is like hell if you are a gamer. That's why it's difficult for us to create content or be YouTubers. Like that's the reality that we face in here. So what should we do? I don't know, bro. Like we need to find ways to get around this, because actually I want to see my people out there. I want to see my people whenever I open YouTube, I see an African gamer showcasing his talent, because I know we talented, bro, but we can't show it because what, we don't have the equipment required to do what we have to do. But I blame the gaming industry. I mean, they could have made things easier for us, like for example implement local payment methods here. That would make things a lot easier, by the way. But if you enjoyed the video, would you consider please subscribing, leaving a like, and give me your honest thoughts down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.